is my mind is light. I'm in always reflecting inside. Always I acknowledge, no ledge, no courage. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come.
I'm back.
Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that he is by your side, and nothing can separate this love inside. No masters, no doctors can prescribe ways in my calling. Only his ways, oh ancient of days, can correct. He reflects the path I acknowledge. God's promise, 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 promise. 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 Put on a new self who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on. Promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I am in always reflecting his might. I am in always reflecting his sight.
Wait a minute. Tidy bowl clean up. I listened to a Tidy Bowl commercial earlier today. If you want to know about that Tidy Bowl commercial from earlier today, you go and check the live that I did with Chief Engine Dushawa. Chief Engine Dushawa, hold up. He was with me live earlier. He's one of the shadow band, has the shadow blockers in his, connected to his stream. So the great eclipser. He's one of the eclipses. Easy. But wait a minute. I'm trying to do something. But as a child, I never paid attention to things like what she said in that commercial. Listen to the Tidy Bowl commercial. Let's listen to the Tidy Bowl commercial real quick. Let me go over the Tidy Bowl commercial before I get started. And let me do it like this. My mind, please make your presence known in the chat. You don't have to come and stay. Anything I say, you don't believe me, you go check it out. But when you do come, please just allow yourself to be known in the chat. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will provide the perfect solution to not just some of my needs, every single one of my needs. He always has, And he always will. Anyone that comes in the chat, I'll ask that you do me this favor. I have a question. The question is, let me go ahead and put it and let it go across the screen. No, I can put it in the comments. Yes or no. I could do it as a poll, but I don't want to do it as a poll. I'm not going to do it as a poll. Do you recall the 2017 eclipse? I don't remember it. And I guess now with everything else, I'm the only one in the world that doesn't remember the 2017 eclipse. This is a study. I'm doing a study. I'm doing a study. I hope London McLovin goes live today. I'm going to go and jump on his panel and ask everyone that could. You remember the 2017 eclipse? I don't remember the 2017 eclipse. I can't think of anything. And I'm good with remembering days and events. Even when they try to subdue me and medicate me and take me all the way down, It's only a 2-year span in my life that I don't remember. For 2 years, I was in darkness. The day they killed my son, I don't remember. 2 years. Other than that, loop over that, I remember when I came into this womb. I remember events at 4 years old, 5 years old. Loop over that, I remember. I mean, when it comes to me, there's faces that I forget. I can forget faces easily. And then I'm good with faces. When it's meant for me to remember a face, I'll be like, wait, I remember that face from somewhere. But some faces, the ones that mask up or masked up behind spiritual wickedness in high places, they could have been in my life and in my face, sitting in front of me, around me, and then come around me right now, and I couldn't even tell you who they are. But that eclipse, let me put it on the screen. I don't remember the 2017 eclipse, and I had a telescope. And I was adamant about sun gazing and stars and taking pictures at the start. When I traveled as a truck driver, I had more pictures on my Facebook page of the stars and the skies and the sun and the moon than the land and historical sites that I came across. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will supply the perfect solution to every single one of my needs. You say amen. I say ain't nothing wrong with amen. I'll say Selah, and you can say, God, you promise. But I love to say, God, you promise. Anything that you are witness to, can I get a witness? Know that whatever you are witness to when it comes to God, God is going to stand on his promises. Okay? God is going to stand on his promises. Now this one is for the tribes. Wait, while I'm here, let me take a picture. I said I was going to do this earlier. I'm about to put it in my community posts. You could go over to my community posts when I take this picture, when I upload this picture here, post. Oh goodness, I don't have my settings. Let me go to my settings. YouTube. Beep, 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 beep. And action. So did you know that this scripture that I'm reading specifically written to the tribes? This ain't me trying to claim nothing, pretending to be something when I believe in the word, the true and living word of God. And no matter how they tried to manipulate the scripts, I would be able to overstand it with right precision, wisdom, and knowledge, and understanding, because it was already in my DNA code. It was already written on the codes in my DNA. They go and put a box on their head to remember it. And people have it written on their hearts, but your hearts can fail you. But see, the power in the blood, there's power in the blood. There's power in the DNA codes. That's why they sent that message and say, hey, look, I'll give you my blood. To overwrite a code that wouldn't agree with mine. It don't matter what the alphabets that they put. Let me take this picture real quick while I'm doing all this talking. I don't know how many of y'all Bibles read in the red like this. How many of y'all Bibles read in the red like this? Let's see what mine read. Wait. Oh, I got to take the picture first. No, start over. Oh, goodness. Okay. Camera. What's wrong with that lighting? Oh, no. Goodness. Well, wait, do I have tribe highlighted? Just for those who don't like to read, because they sure won't come over here and read this Federal Register to save their life. See the chambers of commerce, the light cometh, tribulation in those days. Yeah, I do have the tribes highlighted. Okay, ready, set, written in red. There it is. There's the light. All right, now I'm going to put it in the post. Now let me send it to my post so you know I'm not just making things up, as I'm about to go into the Federal Register and show you where the census, the new census that they got out. Anything that you acting like you about to try to claim, they reenacted and reenacting and telling you what it is and what it ain't, because they know they have to follow the word too. Okay, it's there. See, and a sign, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of earth mourn. All the tribes of earth shall mourn. See this federal document right here? Today I'm just going to go over what I came to go over earlier before I was so rudely interrupted. Oh, one person train crew. They trying to make sure that it'll be okay that one person train crew operation does not pose a significant safety risk to the people. A one-person train crew. Get on board, little children. I wonder if any of my family remember when my granddaddy, not by blood, but by relation, my grandfather would get up with his green glasses on and sing that "Get on board, little children." Get on the train. Ooh, get on the train with his blue suit. His green glasses and his blue suit. Huh? Sweetfield Missionary Baptist Church. I'm not sharing this screen. He would get on and talk about get on board, little children, and blow that harmonica. Get on the train. People all over the world join in on a love train, leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Whatever's going on with the railroad, they say, we want to make sure. Yeah, let me share this tab instead. We want to make sure that a one-person train crew operation, one person operating the train, will not pose a significant safety risk to employees, to the public, the people all over the world. What? Y'all better go click and see what they got going on over here. Huh? This one right here is a deep one right here. This one goes in hand with the census. This one right here goes for those who believe in the outer continental shelf. Like they show the pictures of the earth and they say, see those pieces of lands right there we ain't been to yet. No man is the outer skirts. They won't allow us to go over there. That's this one right here for y'all. Everything is transparent. They have to tell y'all everything. Everything. And here, 10 days before the war. Well, it's less than 10 days now. They sending all flights out on the 16th. They locking down and sending everything out on the 16th. I didn't say it. I'm not a prophet. It's written. The word is going to come forth. And once again, as I stated earlier, I'm saying it loud and clear again. Jay-Z and Beyonce. No, Beyonce, ain't no need of trying to get no divorce now. Ain't no need of trying to separate yourself now. The only way for you to get out of this one, Jay-Z, is to tell the truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free now. I'm telling you. And you know who we're talking about, huh? Because you was the head honcho in charge of that operation. The truth will set you free. All those that assisted you, huh? Jesse Jackson and his Rainbow Coalition, they coming for you too. I know for sure Al Sharpton had parties with P. Diddy. Y'all think TD Jakes huh? I'm so sure that TD Jakes didn't involve himself in the bed with nobody. He just happened to be, because you wouldn't do as God has instructed you to do, for real, with all the money. You weren't supposed to have no mega like that. Nobody in 100 miles of you supposed to have been struggling. You were supposed to make a whole new nation just right there out of Dallas. Talking about Potter's house. But because you entered the doors, of a place or ceremonies that you knew you shouldn't have had your hand in, any unclean thing within there, you just happen to be caught up in the mix. Then back to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Huh? J-Lo trapped in the cell. She's bad boy for life. She got it somewhere tatted on her. Bad boy for life. Ben. Hey, Ben. Huh? You ain't found that tattoo yet. Nobody know where the tattoo that she got, bad boy for life, within her lips. Huh? I can just sit here all day, just and wait. Huh? And wait. Trump said it and he meant it. Huh? He's the most truthful politician. The most honest politician. I'm not saying he's righteous. I'm just saying he's honest. Let me see. How many pictures can you pull up when J-Lo and Puff Daddy was making business deals with Trump? Trump didn't go to none of them parties. he would get with the party planner. He would get with the party planner. Look, when that money start rolling in from Trump to Puff Daddy, y'all think he got his money off of music? He ain't even talented like that. Think he got his money from royalties? Yeah, maybe. A little bit here and there. But it's they dirty little secrets. They ain't even telling y'all half of the money that he got. That talking about he a billionaire. He's more than a billionaire. Why you think Versace keep coming after J-Lo? Why am I talking about this? Because all of this is directly connected to Dr. Malachi Z. York. Huh? And then it's directly connected to me. Nobody coming over? They some scary. Anyone notice that? They will block me, shadow ban me. They've been doing it from the very beginning. Huh? I wonder why. Anybody ever really thought about it? Huh? Why their YouTube creator partners start coming around, you'll be like, yes, no, not her. Huh? They know who I am, but you don't know who you are in Christ. They've been trying too hard for too long. Elon, you ain't made it to Mars yet. Huh? You ain't made it to Mars yet. Which document I'm supposed to be showing y'all? I was showing you the train. Right now, they want to make sure, as of today, they want to make sure that a one-person train crew does not pose. We're leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. I'd rather live in this world than without. Wait, is that what she say? Than to live without him. Wait a minute, what? What did she say? Well, I know that's connected here. Huh? The Gladys Knight Railroad. But as their census goes forward, where they tell you who you are because you don't know who you are and you still fighting, arguing, and debating about whether you were first or last, and they telling you the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Uh, and they got a box they're gonna put you in since you don't know who you are. They said it in this register. They say, and then hold up, not just on that, on the taxes. Look, they got a tax form for the census coming out too that you can't get around no kind of way when it's time to sign after they reenact this Pendleton civil service law for the half breeds. What? The half breeds? Yes, the half breeds. Oh, she making up stuff. No, I'm not making up nothing. I'm not making up nothing. This right here have to do with the half breeds. You want to be, your blood don't have nothing in it, not half and half. You ain't half and half. Cream and coffee. They don't care nothing about what you say about being abo on your paperwork. Anything that has to do with land doesn't matter, because once they go into war, this land belongs to them. You don't have no rights on none of your property. I don't care how long that property been in your family. Once the United States, and they know this, and they've been putting it here in the Federal Register warning you. So that's the whole thing. You could go ahead and keep fighting for the land, but the whole thing was to stop the war with their lies and everything else before they moved to this point. Because once the war go forward, when they start sending off these flights at March 16th, it don't matter how many generations the land has been in your family. This land is your land. This land is my land, on California to the New York. And when they're finished, they're only going to be concerned about the half breeds. And it says it here in Federal Register. No, I'm making it up. I should make it bigger so you can see instead of looking at me, huh? So you a half breed? This land is your land. This land is my land. On California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for the half-breeds. They say it, not me. I'm not making this up. This stuff was written here before I got here. And Michael Jackson tried to tell y'all it don't matter if you black or white. Stop looking at the blacks and the whites. Stop looking at it like that. Because in the last days, ain't none of that gonna matter. And all the tribes are gonna mourn. Know who you are in Christ. Because this is the last time. And Christ came as an example of love. And the only thing that would have gotten the cell doors open in a timely manner would have been love and light. And even to these last days, while everybody looking up, the hatred is getting worse. All down through the DNA. See this right here? upholding civil service protections and merit system policies. What is a merit? What's a merit? Oh no, what did I do? You still see the screen? Okay. The Office of Personnel Management, OPM, is issuing final regulations governing competitive service and competitive status, employment and accepted service, and adverse reactions. The final rule also makes conforming changes to the regulations governing performance-based actions and awards. This rule clarifies and reinforces long-standing civil service protections and merit system principles reflected in passage of Pendleton's Civil Service Reform Act of 1883. Now, you know, anytime there is war, they always have to make sure that the definition of how the spoils will be dispersed among the people is put in their actions, in their blueprints, in their architectural form of the infrastructure of the war that they're going to create. So we've moved out of the rumors of war, and because of their seance that they did, their prayers for that moon to ask for blessings to their gods before they sacrifice as many as they're going to sacrifice. Because of that, they, in part, they also had to make sure that they do this, which is another part of war. How are the spoils going to be dispersed among the allies? So the act ended in the patronage or spoils. Those who say that they're patriotic, like I heard the other day, yeah, I'm a patronage. You a patronage or spoils system for the federal employment and initiated. So not just the employees, but the initiates of the Masons or the Freemasons or any group that is regulated under their Greek gods or spiritual wickedness in high places. So for the spoils, how will the spoils be dispersed among the federal employees or the initiatives in the competitive civil service? So for the past 140 years, Congress has enacted statutes and agencies have promulgated rules to govern the civil service, beginning with laws that limited political influence, employment decisions, the growing over the years to establish comprehensive laws regulated many areas of federal employment. These changes were designed for the further good government. Further good government. Now, what is the Pendleton Act? First off, just the first part or the root word of or the phonetic of Pendleton, the pendulum, says more than a little bit. But for those who are educated, I'm going to go ahead and go to the wiki board and go over the history of the Pendleton Act, which we know that through here, they're not telling the whole truth, especially if they're putting it on the wiki board, but enough that you comprehend and understand the history, because again, this all is written in your DNA, but it's meant for you to decode your DNA to remember, so that you can see through and pass their lies clear. Who is the lame ducks? Huh? Who is the half breed that the acts of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform help aid? Now, it led the war against the copperheads. Who are the copperheads? Copper tone in their voice and in their minds is the copperheads of the Greeks. And they copperhead Greek is a whole man. How are the spoils going to be dispersed after they begin the wars against the rumors of wars? The Pendleton Service Reform Act is a United States federal law passed by the 47th United States Congress and signed into law by President Chester A. Arthur on January 16, 1883. The act mandates that most positions with the federal government should be awarded on basis of merit instead of political patronage. 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 By the late 1820s, American politics operated on the spoil system, and this spoil system has been even throughout the Bible. If you go to First Kings and Second Kings and some of them wars, especially like with Joshua, you'll see where they dispersed the spoils. And at one point, they wasn't supposed to take the spoils from the tribe of Judah. But because of their greed, and we talking about those out of Solomon's temple that went into the land of Judah, killed everybody. They sent in two spies that became familiar with the beings of the people of the land of Judah, the tribe of Judah. And they wasn't supposed to take the spoils, but they did anyway. Yeah, all that stuff replaying over and over and over. This is the last time. You can have your spoil system and re-put it in this register. This is the last time. A political patronage practice in which the officers awarded their allies with government jobs in return for financial and political support. Proponents of the spoil system were successful at blocking meaningful civil service reform until the assassination of President James A. Garfield in 1881. The 47th Congress passed the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act during its lame duck session. And let me read that. Lame duck session. A lame duck session of Congress in the United States occurs whenever one Congress meets after the successor is selected, but before the successor term begins. The expression is now used not only in a special session called after a sine die adjournment, but also for any portion of a regular session that falls after the election. Oh, they're about to assassinate somebody. So the 47th Congress passed the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act during the lame duck session, and President Chester A. Arthur himself, former spoilsman, signed the bill into law. The Pendleton Service Act provided this for selection of some government employees by competitive exams rather than ties to politicians or political affiliation. It also made it illegal to fire or demote these government officials for political reasons and created the United States Civil Service Commission. See that star right there? The United States Civil Service Commission to enforce the merit system, meaning no matter what they find on these congressmen and politicians and officers of the federal government, that they have a protection under United States Civil Service Commission. The act initially only applied to about 10% of the federal employees, but it now covers most in federal employees. As a result of the court case of Louisville versus Campbell, I'm not going to open that up right now. Most federal government employees are no longer hired by means of competitive examinations. The namesake of the Pendleton Act, George A. Pendleton, and I'm going to click on him in a minute, an Ohio Democratic U.S. Senator who defended slavery in 1850s. Yeah, but he had slaves, right? Just like Francis Scott Key, and led to the anti-war copperheads, but look at their copperhead in the position that they put that copperhead, a whole man looking like a woman. Were the black slaves that the eastern copperhead species of venomous snakes. This represents this copperhead, or the copperheads he defended were of the Agkistrodon contortrix, the Puff the Magic Dragon beings, the wood grays. So back to it. So he defended copperheads in the American Civil War, opposing President Abraham Lincoln. You mean to tell me President Abraham Lincoln was setting people free? Look at it. Look at this sentence right here now. Look at it. I want you to go slow with me since I'm retarded. The namesake of the Pendleton Act, an Ohio Democratic senator who defended slavery, but he was opposing President Abraham Lincoln, who wrote the Emancipation Proclamation. The passage of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act, with the aid of half-breed Republicans, furthered the aims of white supremacists. Democrats to curtail patronage, which had been used by stalwart Republicans to socially and economically benefit blacks. Which blacks? I told y'all, they talking about the blacks. The whole year where I said, y'all, they saying blacks, but they not talking about blacks. And they gonna put you in a box since you want to feel like you black, huh? Or you brown, or yeah, I said a whole year. Now look right here what the Pendleton Act represents. Let me just go ahead and put that in my chat. This is what the Pendleton Act represents. And you tell me how that seemed like it makes sense. So this Pendleton Silver Act, written today, is being amended reenacted, reestablished by Office of Personnel Management. So all day long, you could be happy that you have land and property. And half of you can fool half the people some of the time, telling them that you fighting for the land. But because you couldn't even stop the war, because you couldn't even get the cell doors open, now we at the final, the finale. Whereas the Pendulum Act eliminated the spoil system, no, it did not eliminate the spoil system. It upgraded the spoil system and introduced a merit-based civil service as a key pillar. There are the pillars of our democratic system, the demonic system, the Sisra, huh? So here they take the sis of the moon and the Ra of the sun, the original beings, and call in their seance on it. Was the signature bipartisan reform and has most shaped the system we have today. And they put a 1 by the today, so you'll know what today they talking about. Let's see what today they talking about. April 5th. April 5th. Let's click on that. Oh, I'm finna say they got it there, but they won't let me see it. Oh, fine tune and small writing. I'm not going to go through all that. Back to it. Let me go back up. Ooh, George Washington in this reading too. I must sit here and take my time. I should sit here and take my time. The 88. Second rule. Let me see, go down here real quick what they say about George Washington. Let's see what they saying about George Washington. It got something to do with the cherry tree down here. Let's see. Okay, the background related to the comments. It is critical that our government that the career federal employees be protected from undue partisan influence so that businesses be carried out efficiently and effectively in compliance with the law. President George Washington based most of the federal appointments on merit. Subsequent presidents, though deviated from this policy in varying degrees. Now we're going into degrees, 18 degrees to be exact. By the time Andrew Jackson was elected president in 1828, the patronage or spoil system was in full force. And under this system, federal employees were generally appointed, retained, or removed based on their political affiliations and support for the political party in power rather than their capabilities or competence. A change in administration often triggered the widespread removal of federal employees to provide jobs for supporters of the new president, his party, and party leaders. The spoil system often resulted in a party ain't a party. See, they trying to protect themselves from the parties that went on. See there? I told you. I knew it. Now, this spoil system often resulted in party managers passing over educated. Didn't I tell y'all Trump was a party manager? He didn't attend the parties, but he was the one that made sure that the parties happened. And when the reports got back to him, he got a long list. Huh? I told you. That's all I had to see right there. This spoil system often, see, they trying to cover their behind in advance. This spoil system often resulted, they're not talking about the parties of the Democratic, because they would say it. It's talking about the parties that ain't a party till it's ran all through. Huh? Everybody looking at little old bitty, huh? All these rappers, they been telling what they was doing. Ain't nobody told the most on none of them better than Rick Ross. Rick Ross told he was a switch hitter. Rick Ross told what Jay-Z parts was in it. He told better than anybody. If y'all want to know all the information, go back and listen to all of Rick Ross music. He said, I was a correctional officer and I'm a patronage. I'm a stay. And they gonna give me a pass because, I made an oath, when I became a federal employee, and I'm still a federal employee, and I don't mind, I got men locked up that get off just by watching, as long as they can have videos in there, they fill my bank account. You go listen to Rick Ross tell on everybody. You want to know where all the secrets at and who told the most? Go listen to Rick Ross. Rick Ross knew which parties to go to and which ones not to go to. He said, nope, I'm not going to that party. There's too many children there. Oh, but you got parties with those grown men? I'll go. I'm going. Oh, Meek Mill gonna be there? I'll go to the grown men parties. But I'm not going to them parties with them children. I'd rather go out if I'm going to go with children and support basketball teams and build up my community. I don't mess with children, but I'm going to tell. I'm telling in every song. After he finished telling on Jay-Z, he moved on. He got his in his music. He said, yep, I didn't attend that party or this party, but I attended this one. Trick Daddy said, I don't want to be in none of y'all parties. He said, I don't get down like that. I don't care. Y'all can't pay me enough. I had somebody one time try to talk bad about, in my face, to me, directly, trying to put down, talking about our town wasn't the way it was until people from Miami came. Nah, y'all town was what it was. But you want to really go down to who's real and who ain't real and who ain't real? Huh? Looking at the little bitty rappers. Y'all better look at those politicians. There it go right there. That's all I need to do right there, just for now. As I remind you, all the tribes, huh? That you go, don't believe me, go to Matthew chapter 24 if you can. Go find it in red. Huh? Go find it in red. That eclipse was them calling on their gods. And like I said earlier in the live earlier, you had demonic worshiping prisoners that knew that they supposed to have been out there looking at that sun and that moon that had nothing to do with those who are native to the kingdom of heaven, that know those who are love and light beings. They knew they knew all those who worship the devil that were in prison made sure that their lawyers made sure that they would be able to go out there no matter what time. Yard locked down, it don't matter. They get to go out there and look up. What Jesus said, don't look up. And it said, not long after this, when the wars start, the wars that are happening, those are rumors. And when the wars begin, that ain't exactly when I'm coming. But let me give you the rest of the signs. Just know I'm right at the door, huh? I'm right at the door. Now they want to block who the party manager was, huh? And because of who Puff Daddy is and his DNA, they can't kill him. They can't kill him. No, he not protected by man. If that man was messing with children for real, huh? You mean to tell me Heavy D, who dealt with children, I'll be sure let him? Nah, they ain't let him. They ain't let him. Huh? His steps was ordered. And Jay-Z looking bad in the face. Yeah, y'all. You let them think that Kanye acted like he was crazy. Kanye said, that's one thing I'm not finna do. That's one thing I'm not finna do. Let's find out. Let's go and find out all the different parties. But one last note. Bad boys, huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You a bad boy for life? Huh? Ben Affleck. Have you found exactly where she got bad boy for life tatted yet? Bad boys. When she was up there hanging with President Biden at that last State of the Union address where he told Americans what he gonna do. Huh? And she really didn't want to sing that song. She didn't want to stand there singing those lies. Huh? But she signed on to Bad Boys for Life. Greater Light. I think I'm going to sit down for a couple of days, just roam the YouTube streets and listen. If I'm welcome on any panels, I may get up. I may come on. Maybe. But until then, my heart will go on singing. Until the day my eyes behold the city. Until the day God calls me home.